all of you non-Salah owners out there, this is your message to get him in now. And by doing so, you will be catching up to the rest of us in FPL. So in this video, I'm going to be going through some wildcard selections for Game Week 9. And because this is an international break, you got 2 weeks with your wildcards, so plenty of time to make your decisions. And I've got a team just to do it. So please be sure to leave a like, hit that subscribe button, hit those notifications so you don't miss any more FPL content from me. And if you found this video helpful, and without further ado, let's get right into it. So currently, at the time of recording, this team currently costs 101.2 million. So if you have that budget, now would be a great time to pounce on some of these players because they are definitely going to go up in price in the coming days or weeks. So if you don't have this budget, that's not a problem either. You can feel free to switch around to players which can do the business for a bit cheaper. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So starting off with the goalkeepers in defense, we got Turner and Areola. Honestly, you don't need any other goalkeepers apart from these two because the fixture runs for both of them is just super good. They are starting keepers and are very cheap, so you don't need to worry about your goalkeepers until at least game week 18 because as you can see, the fixture run here is super good. As you can see for Turner and with Areola, you can see here, fixtures, way too good. Don't need to worry about your goalkeeper until halfway through the season. And with them being cheap, you can spend your monies elsewhere. And for the defenders, you're going to be rocking 3 at the back with this wildcard team. Don't worry about Kabore and Branthwaite. They won't be starting in your team. Hopefully, if all goes to plan. And if anything, they both are starting for their teams as well. So if at worst, if one of your defenders, say, gets, or even one of your players gets injured or suspended and can't play, then these two can rotate for those injured or suspended players. So at worst, maybe 1 or 2 points. So you can't go wrong there. And for your main defenders, you're going to be using Cash. I feel like this guy is very essential at the moment because Villa are very good and the fixtures are looking very good as well. And with Cash, he is very attacking, so he can get some assists, maybe even some goals. So for an FPL defender, there's not much more you can ask. And for 4.8, I feel like is very good value. Even though he's gone up in price, it is still good value in my opinion. And next up, we got Shar. I like him. Newcastle defenders are going to be very good in the upcoming weeks. The fixtures are very nice. And obviously, you could cheap out and go for Dan Burn if you want. Or maybe if Sven Botman gets fit again, you could go with him. But I've gone with Shar because I like his attacking potential is a bit better than Dan Burns in my opinion. But as we saw against PSG in the Champions League, he can score bangers, which is lovely to see. Unfortunately, Kieran Trippier isn't in this wildcard team. I would have loved to have him, but he's a bit too expensive. But if you want to have him in your team, then you are feel free to adjust the team into your liking into fitting him in. And lastly, we've got Udogie. He's just very consistent. Spurs are probably the best team or one of the best teams in the Premier League at the moment. And Udogie is just that consistent factor in that defense, which is very good. And he is really good. If you want to go with Porro, there's nothing wrong with that either. And also as well, Gabriel. He is like 4.7 million at the time of recording. That is extremely good value. If you want to go with Gabriel as well, there is no issues there. You can feel free to go with him. 4.7 is probably something, even I'm probably going to look at Gabriel at 4.7. We'll see about what decisions before Game Week 9 I'm going to make. But yeah, these are defenders. I feel like they're very good for a wildcard template. Next up, we've got the midfielders. Dun, dun, dun. Of course, we've got Salah in the team. As I said in the intro, if you don't get this guy in your team, I feel like you're going to be losing out because if 15 points away to Brighton is not a signal to get him in, then I don't know what is. He is just super consistent. Probably the best player in the midfield for Liverpool and midfielders in general, in my opinion. And with the upcoming game week fixtures, Everton at home, come on now, what do you expect? What do you think is going to happen in these next 3 game week fixtures? Just absolute madness. As long as he doesn't get injured during the international break, it is lovely for you to have Salah. Because it would be well advised, I mean, to have Salah in your team. Because if you don't, then you will definitely be missing out. I expect at least 40 to 45% ownership by the time Game Week 9 rolls around. And yeah, if you don't have him in your team, then hopefully I wish the best for you. And next up, we got Son and Madison. I mainly got these two because Saka There's a bit of an injury doubt there. Let's see if he is fit for game week 9. But we've got these two in the team, and I'm expecting great things for both of them because they've both been performing. Son is playing number 9 for Spurs, who are doing really well, so there's no reason to not have him there. And we've got Madison, who will hopefully be feeding Son and be getting all those lovely assists and some goals as well. Lovely to see there. We've got Bowen as well. I know Villa away is a bit tough, but the fixtures afterwards, super good, as we've seen with Areola. The fixtures will be super good, and Bowen will hopefully be the pinnacle, the focal point of the West Ham attack and be getting some goals and assists. And we've got Diaby as well. Lovely to have him. Very good. Thank God he was fit. I know he didn't do anything, but thank God he was fit. So yeah, I expect him to be firing on all cylinders in these next few game week fixtures because they are super good. Yeah. This midfield, I don't feel like you can do much wrong there. Obviously, if you don't have the budget for a lot of these, you can definitely go with some other ones. Like I'm thinking like Anthony Gordon. He's very cheap, and Newcastle are doing really well. And he starts for Newcastle, which is lovely to see. You could go with him, and you could even go with Cole Palmer as well. He is even on penalties, which is very interesting. Obviously, you can go with Neto as well. Those 3 options, if you want to spend a bit less on your midfield, you can definitely go with them because they are performing really well at the moment. So yeah, if you can't afford the midfield that I've shown you, you can definitely go with those options to fit your team. And up front, you have Darwin Núñez, Darwizzy, in the team, mainly because I don't feel like a lot of, if you have the defense, midfield, and goalkeepers, I don't feel like a lot of you could afford Ollie Watkins. If you can afford Ollie Watkins, then all the power to you. You can definitely go with him. But I've gone with Núñez because, like we've seen with Salah, the Liverpool fixtures are so good. He is the starting striker at the moment for Liverpool, so he should be doing something against these lesser opponents. And hopefully he can be at least a differential as well. He's only like 12% ownership. That's a pretty decent differential if you want to go somewhere different. But obviously I feel like a lot of people go Ollie Watkins. They'll try to find a way to fit him in, which is not a bad idea. But, you know, for this case, you can go with Darwin as a differential. Or if you want to find a player that can be a differential, you can go with Núñez in your team. We got Archer. Mainly for price saver. You could go with Mbama as well. He's like 4.3 million. If you want to have a very big price saver, you can go with Mbama. He's only 4.3, so save 0.2 there, but that 0.2 could make the difference for your team. Well, depending what your team looks like, he could definitely be a difference because he's definitely not going to be playing, so no worries there. And I know I've seen a lot of non-Holland wildcard drafts. Honestly, do that at your own peril because he will definitely be firing again at some point, and those non-Holland owners are going to be having an absolute nightmare trying to get this guy back in your team. So absolutely not worth the risk of getting rid of Holland, especially with this ownership as well. If you don't have him and he performs, you are just going to go down in the ratings, which is not what you want to be doing. Not a risk worth taking, not owning Holland. So just keep him in your team and you'll be just fine. So yeah, that's the wildcard team there. Thank you all so much for watching. I feel like it's a very good wildcard team. Let me know in the comments down below if you're going with this team. I feel like it's a very good one. Thank you all so much for watching. Please leave a like, hit that subscribe button, hit those notifications so you don't miss any more content from me. And if you found this video helpful, drop a thumbs up, like I said. And yeah, follow me on the socials as well. The links are down below in the description. Thank you all so much for watching. Until the next video, see ya!